Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. How are you? I hope you are staying safe. Happy Ramadan. How has your Ramadan been? So, for today's lesson, we will be doing recount writing. This will be day one of recount writing. Okay, let's get your writing books ready. Are you ready now? Okay, let's begin. For beginning our lesson, you should know that the lesson objectives for today is you will be able to familiarize yourself with the structure and the types of recount writing. You will also be able to plan your writing. The steps to success for this lesson is read and reread your task of the day, brainstorm your ideas, and then draw a mind map using the hints given by your teacher. Okay, let's begin. As a starter for today's lesson, I will be talking about what is recount writing, the types of recount writing, the features of recount writing, and then we will be doing today's task. What is recount writing? Do any of you know? Okay, to begin, recount writing is a record of events. Basically, it tells you the events that have taken place to you or to someone else. Okay? It has an introduction and gives you a background for the events that took place. Remember, recount writing is something that has happened before, so it uses past tense. Okay? And it uses time markers such as yesterday, last week, an hour ago, then soon. This is to show the sequence of events that have happened. All right? Okay, let's move on. Okay, next we will be talking about the types of recount writing. Here are some examples of writing which uses recount, which uses the sequence of events. Okay, the letter, diary entries, newspaper articles, and historical records. Okay, so these are only some of the examples of recount writing. Um, you can also Google the types of recount writing in the Google application. There are many more types. So let's move on to the next segment of the lesson, shall we? It is also worth remembering that a recount can be personal, factual, or imaginative. All right? A, re a personal recount is a retelling of events that you were personally involved in. For example, diary entries. Factual recount is reporting the factual information about an incident. For example, newspaper articles and historical records. Okay? An imaginary recount is combining factual information and an imaginary element. So this is like a story that you can tell somebody. All right? Let's move on. Before writing a recount, you have to know the features of. In the text here, you can see that recount writing involves introduction, the sequence of events, and the closing. Okay? The introduction should be a brief background of what you are going to write. You should write down who was involved, what happened, where did this event take place, when and how did it happen. Okay? As you can see here, it's just a short, brief introduction of what you are going to write. All right? The next few paragraphs are the sequence of events, what happened, in the order that they happen. Okay? Remember that you have to use the past tense because this is the things that have happened before. Also, if you are talking about yourself, you should use the first person like I, we, me. And if you are talking about someone else, you should use the third person, which is like they, he, she. Okay? As you can see here, it uses words like on the first day. Okay? As well as words like before 6 a.m. It has time markers. Okay? And as a closing, you have to briefly summarize what happened. Like this one. It's just a simple closing to the writing. All right? Okay? All right. Let's go to the next segment of the lesson. Okay. Here are some examples of words that you can use to answer when, where, who, and what. All right? And for the sequence of events, you can use words like firstly, next, then, after that, later, and finally. All right? These are just some examples. You can Google more on this, do more research on what words you can use. Okay, let's carry on. So I hope you know what recount writing is by now. As usual, before we start writing, we should plan what to write. So your task for today is to draw a mind map for a piece of writing titled My Most Unforgettable Trip. Take out your writing book, the one with the yellow tag. Go to a new page, write down the day and the date, and don't worry, I will help you along the way. Let's plan our writing. But please take note that you do not need to use full sentences when planning your writing. Okay? You only use short forms or short sentences so you can refer to it back when you actually write your recount writing. Okay, for the first paragraph, we can talk about who, where, when, and how. Okay, you can draw that in your mind map. Next, we can talk about the activities of what you did from the first day of the trip to the last day of the trip. You can do numbering when you're planning it, okay? And then for the final paragraph, you can summarize it by talking about what made the trip unforgettable for you. Okay? Please remember that ideas are not limited to these only. You can add more of your ideas. Okay? Once you have finished with your mind map, don't forget to take a picture of it and personally send it to my WhatsApp. That is today's lesson for day 1 of recount writing. I hope you already know what recount writing is, how to write it, the types of recount writing. Thank you and stay safe, everyone. Tune in for another lesson of English language with me. Assalamualaikum and bye. Teacher Huda Sabrina signing out.